What's going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Steve Fault. Welcome to 10 Count Media. On today's edition, I am talking to someone who has taken the world in her hands. It's Lyra Valkyria. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. And recently, you celebrated 10 years in the wrestling business. Now, every interview that I have found from you from 2017 to 2018, whatever year it was, your goal was always WWE. Every time someone said, "What's the goal?" and you said WWE, how does it feel after 10 years accomplishing your goal?
Oh, it feels like absolutely incredible. And it's amazing to still feel so young in my career. Like every time the move to NXT, it was like, okay, fresh start. The move to main roster, it's fresh start. I still feel like I have so much to do, so much, and I'm still only getting started at 10 years in. So it's incredible. And to be able to mark 10 years in by performing in Money in the Bank, especially when that was the day I started 10 years ago, it just felt like, such a incredible time.
What was that experience like inside the Money in the Bank? Because I talked to Chelsea Green a day after of that event, and boy, she was bruised all over. How did you feel?
Yeah, Chelsea Green definitely had a very different experience to me. I'd say she came out absolutely shattered, but it was incredible. Like the excitement in that crowd, being in Canada for the first time, it was wild.
And of course, in 10 years of wrestling, you must have wrestled some strange places. What is this? Where is the strangest place you ever wrestled in the 10 years that you've been involved with professional wrestling?
Strangest place. I think we've all done like empty crowds, and there was one place I performed in Northern Ireland actually, where I know it's very close to home, but it was a day where the rain had gotten into the ring and the mats were wet and there was no wood under the ring, and it was just it was a crazy show, but probably Northern Ireland actually.
Wow. That's got to be tough to wrestle in a wet ring.
Yeah, it was very tough, but fun.
Wow. And there's this picture of you and JD and Becky Lynch and Finn Balor. It's on, Instagram and on Twitter. That picture represents so much to so many different people across the world. But for you, what does that picture mean? Because representation is huge.
Yeah, it's incredible to have like a handful of incredible Irish people on Monday Night Raw. I always remember, I used to travel and train a lot. And there was a school I went to where I remember the trainer said, look around, the odds of anyone here making it to WWE are next to none. It was very I remember thinking like, no, the voice inside you is always like, no, that's gonna be me, that's gotta be me. And then to have like a handful of people from my school, from other schools in Ireland, like it's just insane to be grouped in with the likes of like JD, Becky, Sheamus, Balor. I'm so grateful and happy.
Oh, man. And of course, your rivalry with Becky Lynch was one for the ages. Now, what did you learn from Becky Lynch? Because, of course, she is the man.
She is the man. And the biggest thing she told me was to never doubt what I bring to the table, and to embrace what makes me different. And I think that's what she's thrived on in her entire career, is embracing her own uniqueness and what makes her weird. And, it ended up making her. So hopefully it can do the same for me.
Now, you bring up weird, unique. I love the entrance where the camera is around you. You spin around, the smoke. Who came up with this? Is this inspired by you? Inspired by something that you saw somewhere?
That was me. The pose. It was something I started doing. I don't know. On the independent scene. At the time, I think I had something like something to do with a vision, but I don't know. It's just my thing now. That's what I do.
I love it. Again, when the music plays, the smoke happens, you turn it around. Like, it's unique because versus just music, you walk out. Like, you have a whole presentation to you, and that's incredible with Becky Lynch giving you that advice. Now, Becky Lynch currently is not in the WWE. We really don't know what's going on. I have her book behind me, but for you personally, do you feel like she will eventually come back to the WWE?
I think Becky is very, very good at keeping people guessing. And if she doesn't want anyone to know her next move, nobody is going to know her next move.
Wow. Yeah, because people obviously want her to return, like so many different people. And for one instance, in 2017, you were interviewed by Oxygen, the website, and someone asked you, who's your favorite wrestler? You said Sasha Banks is your all-time favorite. You said Charlotte Flair. You said Bayley. And you even said that Sasha Banks was the wallpaper on your cell phone. And
She was, yeah.
she was. That's someone I think, just like Becky Lynch, we all want eventually to come back to the WWE. Do you feel like Sasha also has the pathway back home as well?
Yeah, I think she's clearly on a mission now to start something new and to bring other women up just in a very different way. But I think that the path should be there.
And of course, the four horsewomen. Yeah, well, I think she wants it. I think we all want it. You know, the boss and the dancing, and you know, just like how you have your pose, she had her pose, and I hope someday we see that as well. But I think it's so funny that. Let me ask you a question though. Is it true that you wrote for a website, Green News Ireland?
How on earth? Yeah, that was when I was in college. I did.
We do research here. So for instance, what in college inspired you to suddenly to write for Green News Ireland? Because I went in the articles, I'm reading about them, very inspiring things. But for you, why was that such a interesting thing to do? And then, of course, becoming a wrestler, like where does the journalistic style of you and becoming a wrestler mix?
I love creative writing, and then I got into journalism, and it didn't really give me that outlet. Obviously, journalism is very factual, and there wasn't a whole lot of room for creativity. But I did enjoy Green News because it was environmental, and it brought a lot of awareness to me on a lot of things that I wanted to change. It made me go vegan for a little bit. Yeah, just like it was a really good time.
Yeah, I was because I'm like, is this really her? Because you go down the rabbit hole researching someone sometimes, and you're like, it says her real name, but obviously, like, John Smith. There's more than one John Smith. I didn't know if that was 100% you. So I'm very happy that we confirmed that. Yes, if anyone wants to check out your articles on Green News Island from I believe 2016, they are there for your liking. Now, the Irish Sun interviewed you in 2018, and this is exactly after you beat Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough, for what was the championship? The Irish Junior Heavyweight Championship, the #1 title in the company. Now, this at the time was revolutionary for that company because, having a woman be the main champion of a company was so strange in 2018. But you said, I'd like to think it's not because I'm a girl I've got here. I've stepped up to mark and do main event matches just as well as the lads. Now, obviously, in today's world, things have certainly changed. Do you still feel like that? Like there's a place that no longer is it, oh, it's the first time women are main eventing. It's no. Everyone has earned the right to be in the main event. Doesn't matter your gender anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think we are somewhere now where the best people will be the main event, and it has nothing to do with gender. Like you look at Rhea Ripley, and no one goes, she's fantastic and she's in her spot because she's great for a girl. That was something I used to always hear, like, oh, she's really good. Not about Rhea, but in general, like, oh yeah, she's a really good women's wrestler. And that's not a thing anymore. It's very much just like who's the best, and gender is just not involved at all. When I won the Irish Junior Heavyweight title, I really felt proud of that. Was a mark I had made in Ireland. I'm actually still the only woman to have held that title. Wow. But Fight Factory for Wrestling is still going strong, and the legacy of the title is still extremely strong, and I hope to see another woman hold that one day.
Wow, you hold that record. That's impressive as well. Wow, congratulations on that. But coming up though, next Monday Night Raw, Providence, Rhode Island. I'll be there live. Monday Night Raw. Tickets are still available, but they're going hot. Like the WWE is on fire right now. If someone has never attended a WWE live event, a Raw, a Smackdown, a PLE, what should they expect attending this awesome event coming up on Monday?
Well, we've got Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable, and honestly, how do you even tell someone what to expect for that? Because someone coming for the first time, I'd love to see their reaction when whatever happens. I'm afraid for Chad Gable. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I'm also afraid for the ring because Bronson Reed is taking on Braun Strowman as well. And I'm calling it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm calling it. That ring is going to collapse underneath their weight of a tsunami off the top onto Bronson Reed. It can't hold it. Can it? Can the ring hold Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman?
I have no idea, but who's going to come out on top? Oh, we've seen Bronson Reed coming off the top rope. Just how devastating that actually is over the last few weeks. And will it be enough to keep Braun Strowman down if he can get him down? Who knows?
I don't know, but I have interviewed Braun Strowman a few months ago, and I asked him, why are you fighting Bronson Reed when it's simply there? Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. That's a faction that needs to happen, I believe, personally. But that's just me.
Maybe a battle of the bronze.
Oh, the battle of the bronze for the bronze medal in the Olympics. Make it happen, WWE. Make it happen. You know, there's always these rumors about a women's intercontinental championship, but then it was announced a WWE Speed Championship for the women as well. Which one are you landing on there? Because the Speed Championship, obviously, that's an opportunity for Twitter and X to be involved with the WWE more often. But yet, everyone seems to want an intercontinental championship for women. What are your feelings on this? Do we need more titles, or are we good with what we got?
I think an intercontinental title for the women would be incredible. It's kind of known as that workhorse title, and I think we've got so many hardworking women that are still waiting for, you know, a chance to step up and show what they could do, and that would provide that opportunity for them. So of course that would be incredible. And then we've got the upcoming women's speed tournament. Hoping to be involved in that myself. So it's a really great time to be a women's wrestler on Monday Night Raw.
And we have tag titles, but it seems like there's a lot of trios now in the women's division. Trios championship, thoughts?
Why not?
Why not? Well, it's true because it's, again, it feels like there's so many combos of people with trios championships, but also coming up in 2025, it will be a sad year, but a year to celebrate John Cena's career. He's retiring from in-ring competition. How do you feel about that? Because John Cena is on a Mount Rushmore. I don't care what Mount Rushmore you have. He's on there. But yet, for you personally, have you spoken with John? Has he ever given you an advice? And what do you think about him actually finally saying, I'll be done after 2025?
Yeah, it's insane. I did get the chance. He spoke to the room when we were in NXT, and I asked him a question. I said, I didn't word it very well, but at the time I remember him answering it, picking up exactly what I meant. And he said, oh, you're asking me about it. Is it learnable? And he said, yes, I think it is. And in terms of the entertainment factor, the star power, and, you know, who better to ask that question than to John Cena? And I've always found him very inspiring, very motivational. So yeah, to have gotten to speak to him is amazing. I think it's very, very sad that he's in his last year, but I'm really excited to see who will get his last match. So there we go.
Who do you want John to fight in his last official match? Or who should he? Should he? I guess is the question too.
I'm going to go with Randy Orton.
Yes. You win the gold here if the Olympics were still going on. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be Randy Orton, you know. Kick it off with Cody Rhodes, you know, and then end it with Randy Orton. I think that is something that's very necessary. Now, you know, you didn't win it, but you were in the Queen of the Ring tournament. You made it to the finals against Nia Jax, and boy, oh boy, the ending of that match, I think everyone, when they saw it, went, oh, for you personally, what was that like? First off, given the ball by the WWE to go, hey, we're going to draft you from NXT immediately, and you're going to go to this program, and now you're in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. What was that like for you personally, being told, like, hey, you're not just going to be in the tournament, you're going to be in the finals?
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't have time that entire first month on the main roster to sit down and process. There was no time to think. There was no time to get overwhelmed. Even just when the draft happened, there was just no part of me that expected it. I don't know why. I just didn't think it was my time. So then to have gone to Saudi Arabia, in my first month on the main roster, to have a crowd that big, like I had just done Stand and Deliver with NXT, and that was my biggest crowd at the time. And then to go up to Monday Night Raw and know that that was just going to be the standard from then on out was crazy. And then Saudi was a whole different experience again. So the whole first month was just wild.
Wow. And of course, the ending of Nia just crushing you off the second rope, that very impressive stuff there. But you mentioned you were drafted. What did Shawn Michaels say to you? Because there's a picture of you, your face, you're like Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone, shocked. And then Shawn Michaels comes up to you and he's talking to you. What did he say to you? Because you were very emotional.
He was just very like, you deserve this. Congrats. You always had it in you. Just all the nice things.
Well, I believe the interview is over. Oh, she's back, folks. We lost her for a brief moment. But yes, Shawn Michaels, the inspiring words he said to you. Sorry, one more time, because we lost you for a brief moment. What did Shawn say to you?
You deserve this. Congrats. It's all ahead of you. Just very, very nice things.
Amazing to hear. Now, again, coming up on Monday, August 26th, we have Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable. We have Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. The beginning of the Intercontinental #1 Contender Tournament with Jey Uso. One last question before we wrap this up. Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley. Is that going to happen? Because the still Dom Liv thing seems to be one way, but the crowd is really wanting Mommy and Usi to get together.
I don't know. I don't think Rhea is fully ready to move on until she gives Dom his comeuppance for all the stuff he's done and, you know, gets her hands on Liv again.
Well, I'm looking forward to what happens next with that, but obviously with you as well. I am pumped for what's happening. Hopefully you get that Women's Speed Championship or the Intercontinental Championship for the women. We'll have to wait and see. But Lyra Valkyria, thank you so much for being here, sharing your stories and your passion for wrestling business. Happy 10-year anniversary as well to you, because you 100% deserved it. And have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.